Best electronic album. So electronic this year, we've talked about it being pretty down bad, like as a genre, not living up to what we want it to. That being said, as we were rounding out this year's electronic albums, we definitely had enough to put things together. We stretched a little bit, but in our stretching, we found that there are a lot of artists doing things, pushing electronic music to its limits in a way that makes us hopeful. Much like indie was 2 years ago. We were like, okay, we kind of scrapped these together. This is kind of an awards segment, but really in the next couple of years, we're going to see this genre blossom and really become something great. I think electronic is in that nascent phase right now. It's going to continue. That being said, electronic really came correct with some of the artists that you had. You had Nurture by Porter Robinson, phenomenal record where Porter Robinson just changed the sound and phenomenally just like transformed it. Reflection by Lorraine James, very experimental effort out of London. Times by S.G. Lewis had some really nice kind of disco-y,
and that
feel-good
one
bangers
grew on me over the year too.
Yes. We had Polydance by Roosevelt, favorite of both of us. Did a lot more of a 70s disco throwback thing to his record, but a lot of true electronic go-throughs through that. And then Spiral by Rez, another fan favorite of Audioface, favorite of us on the show, has really been killing it as a DJ. And with Spiral, which we'll talk a little bit more later, not that Rez's work has like fallen off or like been bad lately, but I think it really shows the best of what she does as a DJ and puts it forward in a way that hasn't been done yet before. So great with her. These are 5. I think these are type 5. So what do you want to decide on these?
The ones I like the most are this is actually pretty hard. I really like Times by S.G. Lewis and Spiral by Rez. Those are probably my 2 favorite. I also like Polydance a lot.
It's funny because I would say my top 3 are Polydance, Nurture.
Nurture is very good too.
And Lorraine James. But Lorraine James is also just very much like a Dan style pick, so I can concede that.
Nurture is very good.
It was so experimental. It was so cool. Leaving the Club Early, all of those ones. I just love those.
No, it's fine. This is hard.
It is very hard. All of these,
but honestly, the one that I mean, I could give you it's in Porter Robinson because to me that's the most electronic-y. Well, them and Spiral by Rez are the most electronically of electronic albums.
The other trick to this is that this is an albums award show and this is an albums podcast. Yeah. And electronic is very especially hard to put together an album per se.
Very true.
On this list, Porter Robinson put together an album. It's a project that you can listen to start to finish, and
or in shuffle.
Yeah, or shuffle. And I think you have to be in a mood for it. You need to get into it. It's definitely not Porter Robinson's work in the past, but I think a lot of Porter Robinson fans and people who have questioned him alike have been able to acknowledge how beautiful the record ultimately turned out.
Yeah.
And Porter Robinson still got bangers in him too. I sure when he does festivals and whatnot, you'll see like a whole variety of them. Plus, you'll see a lot of these songs kind of done up for an EDM festival to meet that kind of energy.
For sure.
But way to go, Porter Robinson for Nurture. We'll give you best electronic album. Well fought. And again, Lorraine James, S.G. Lewis, Roosevelt Rez, phenomenal job on this. Yes. But albums, we're making albums. There's also a challenge for other electronic music artists. We're going to talk about a lot in 2022.
Hope.
Focus on your albums. The mixes are nice, but make cool albums that we can play through and enjoy that tell a story or don't, but like have a musical sort of like piece to them.
Yes.
I think will be great.